Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Cascadia Junior, which is a 2 to 4 player game published by AEG Games. Now, this is going to be the junior version of Cascadia, so it's going to be built for the younger audiences in here, so keep that in mind. So we're going to go ahead down the table here. I'm going to show you how to play Cascadia Junior, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Cascadia Junior. For components, you're going to have your wildlife cards, you're going to have your panorama board, you have 4 of those. You'll have your rule book. You're going to have your habitat sighting tokens, which are going to be these ones that look like landscapes here. You're going to have your animal wildlife sighting tokens, which will be your animals here. You're going to have your habitat tiles, and you're going to have your wildlife markers for the game itself here. So setup for the game is going to be easy. You're going to give each player a panorama board, which is one of these. You're going to use those to place out your different sighting tokens on there on a panorama on the board here. You're going to shuffle the habitat tiles face down. Now the habitat tiles take a little bit of setup here. You're going to you're going to shuffle up all those tiles. You're going to get as many tiles as 4 player counts. So for 2 player, you're going to have 23 tiles. You're basically removing 27 of the tiles. 3 player, you're going to have 34 tiles, and 4 player, you're going to have 45 of the 50 tiles. So you'll remove 5 tiles. Once you have that count there, you're going to place the habitat tiles near the center of the table and face down stacks, and you're going to put the rest into the box here. So if you're 4 player count, you're going to put 5 of them back in the box. 2 player, you're going to put 27 of them back in the box. You're then going to give each player one of the habitat tiles face down, and they're going to flip it face up, and that's going to start their habitat. Then you're going to flip 2 of the habitat tiles from the face down stack face up, and that's going to make up the play area. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure you have the animal tokens where everyone can reach it, and all of these sighting tokens where everyone can reach it. When you're placing out the sighting tokens, one important note is that make sure it doesn't show the pine cone side. Make sure it only shows the animal side or the sighting side. Those are going to be your secret points for the end of the game, so you don't want to reveal those. And that's it. That's going to be setup. Now we're going to get into gameplay. All right, so what we're going to do on our turn. One thing I'm going to mention is I didn't place out these cards. These cards here are going to be for an advanced mode. So your first game, you're not going to use them. But I have my play area. What do we do? Well, the youngest player is going to go first, and then we're going to pick a tile. So when it's my turn, I'm going to pick a tile, and I'm going to place it here somewhere in my habitat that I have on my play area. Now, when you're putting your land tile on, only one side needs to match. So one side needs to touch. So I could go like that if I wanted to. I could put it like this if I wanted to. I could put it any way that I want. But the one thing that we're looking for is when we check our wildlife, we're looking for 3 in a row. So when I place this out, I'm looking for, and as time goes by, so here I have 3 salmon. Let's see if we can get another one here. So now I have 3 salmon. So now that I have 3 salmon, so let's say that's what I did this turn, I would take out these 3 tokens for salmon and place them over top, and then I would get one of these salmon sightings and I would put it on my panorama any way that I want. Now you can move that around through the game, but don't look at the bottom of the token until the end of the game. So that's how the wildlife check works for this. And at the end of the turn, basically what you're going to do is you're going to refill the market. Now we're going to keep on doing this. Basically on your turn, you're just taking one of these cards, you're placing it onto your area there, and you're doing a check for wildlife. We're going to keep on doing this until the last tile is left. So when the player picks up a tile and there's not one to replace it, the game is going to end. So the game ends, and it's going to be in 10 turns. So every player is going to get 10 turns. So they'll have 11 tiles out on the board. You had a starting tile, remember, so you'll have 11 tiles out on the board at your 10th turn. Now that we did that, we're going to check for habitats before we get the points that we got from these. So for each of the 5 habitats, there's forest, mountain, prairie, wetland, and rivers. Each player checks to see if they have 3 or more of the same habitat, hexagonal tiles, next to each other, connected in a group. So in this case, I have these grasslands all lined up here. So I'll be able to get this token and place it in here. And if I had any of the other ones where I had at least 3 or more touching, I would get another one out there. And if I was super lucky and I got 6 of these in a row, so if I got 6 of these in a row, or all touching, not necessarily in a row, all touching, I would have get 2 habitat sightings tokens for matching that many in one shot. So that's going to be how you do your habitat sightings. And that's it. The final thing we're going to do is we're going to flip these over. We're going to count our pine cones, and the person with the most pine cones wins. If the players are tied, the tied players share the victory. That's it. Now you can do an advanced mode, and what this simply for the advanced mode is they have to do with the animals here. So these animals will have to be in this configuration in order to get the sighting token. So this is going to have this configuration to get this sighting token, this one will have to have this configuration, and so on. And you'll place these out so everyone can see. But in the advanced mode, you have to group your tiles to match that pattern in order to gain the sighting tile for that animal. And that's it for the advanced mode. And that's it for the game. This is going to be how you play Cascadia Junior. Let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on the game. All right, so that was Cascadia Junior. Now, component quality for this game is great, just like any of the AAG games. It's going to really stand up to the abuse that kids have on there, so it's going to be a game that you're going to be able to play for a while there and be able to not have to worry about the pieces deteriorating on it. So that's great. Now, gameplay for this is going to be for the younger audiences here. This is going to be a great game for getting kids into gaming. So if you're looking for that, this is going to be the game for you, especially if they like the nature theme on there. This will be a home run. Now, you'll start out, they can get their sets in there. Once they master the sets of 3 or more in there, then you can get into playing with the advanced mode, and they have to do the patterns, and they can work on trying to do that, like abstract thinking of getting those patterns lined up so they can get those sighting tokens. Either way, this is a great first game for kids. This is a great game to get them into gaming, and I really am enjoying it with my kids, and I think it's going to be a great game for a while to play with them. Now, they will eventually outgrow the game, but I think it's really worth it to the number of plays we're going to get out of it and the fact that it gets them into the wide world of gaming, which is a very fun hobby. But either way, I hope you liked this video. If you do, please think about liking and subscribing. It really helps us out a lot, helps us get more videos out, it helps us bring up the equipment and component or the quality of our videos, and we really appreciate it either way. But I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.